Hello everyone! Welcome back to Shadowbringers. I said that and then immediately was like, wait, I need a drink before I get started. So I had to act so that's why there was a weird sudden pause there. Ariane is ready to leave, but not before first offering a piece of advice. Ere we depart, there is a custom of the Knights Blessed which I feel compelled to elucidate. As one might expect, they deem light to be abhorrent, and everything it touches befouled. Thus do they take the utmost pains to protect all they can from its taint, including their very names. Speak plain, as it's the belief of the blessed that one's own name must ne'er be uttered in the light of the everlasting day. Yet this commandment precludeth not the use of another's. Thus do parents protect their children, and in rare cases, masters their disciples. So it is that Y'shtola hath taken the name of Master Matoya. Lest we offend them, I bid you speak not her true name in the Blessed's presence. With that in mind, let us speak with the guard who keepeth vigil at the great wood's border. I don't know. I was blues cluesing it. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. I was so into Blue's Clues as a kid. Like, that was my jam back then. I know I have no reason to, but I can't help feeling nervous about meeting Y'shtola. It would be good to see Y'shtola again. I pray thee heed mine explanation of the Blessed's customs. 'Twould be ill-advised to provoke their ire. Well met, traveler. What business brings you here? I need to get into the Rak'tika Greatwood. Yes, of course. Right this way. Here we are.
No matter how far he goes, man cannot resist looking back on the path he has walked. The untold stories and secrets of the past can be more alluring than the promise of tomorrow. And so he braves the forests of Rak'tika in search of mystery and wonder. Of Ronka, to which all seekers of hidden truths are inevitably drawn.
Rak'tika Greatwood.
We have arrived. Vast though these woods may be, they are, by and large, uninhabitable. Not so the swamps of Cydia, however, whose sparse foliage permitted man a foothold.
Hello, Emmett.
No lands must remain beyond our grasp. Go forth, conquer, rule! Forgive me. A sudden pang of nostalgia for those halcyon days.
Halcyon.
Exploring virgin territories, subjugating primitive peoples, all for the glory of Garlemald.
If you've brought your ivory standard, I'll be happy to tell you where to stick it.
Can we not simply take a moment to enjoy the view together? Or would you rather I spied on you from the shadows? Much more of this, and I may very well begin to regret my show of good faith.
If you really want to stay, then help us fight.
Hmm?
No, I think not. I am an observer, nothing more. Even shielded by the shadows of these boughs, I feel the light's presence most keenly. To accompany you is taxing enough. To fight is out of the question.
I will suffer your company if I must, but not your commentary.
Oh yes. It begins! Hunkred has told me of the Ashians and what they have done. If he isn't willing to help, is it wise to let him stay with us? If I never opened his mouth, if he never opened his mouth again, it would be too soon. What is it now? To expect me to regale you with friendly banter? Oh, very well, I will humor you this once. You may consider it my latest act of good faith. Come on then, what do you wish to know? Why choose this form here in the first? Well, well, what a curious question. Mortal flesh is but the vessel into which we Ashians pour the elixir of our souls, molding it as fits the occasion. If not, if we so choose. Be it for a year or a millennium, I prefer to retain the same form until my duty is done. So, after arriving here in the first, I fashioned some hapless body into the man you see before you. Though, as your friend over there can attest, there are those of us who forego such alterations. He was ever the rash one, La Habrea, jumping from vessel to vessel, never heeding the toll it took on him. 'Tis plain our Ashian counterpart meaneth to follow wheresoever we lead, for it otherwise he would not suffer the overabundance of light in these woods. Verily, it pervadeth every corner. So long as the Light Warden remaineth, sin-eaters shall be free to prey upon these lands without surcease. If naught is done, 'tis but a matter of time before the blessed come. 2 years past, a swarm of sin-eaters did lay waste unto their largest settlement, killing a great many of their priests in doing so. Though some few did survive, they knew not how to go on. Where were souls in way of a guiding hand? For mercy, your Stola hath provided that which they sorely needed. They have since endeavored to restore their home, and thither shall we bend our steps, to Fort Gone. It's a tomato! Nice. Very strange looking creature. I'm assuming it's some kind of a sentient plant thing. You know, like the treants. Or vampire vine as they're called in this area, I suppose. Lots of, what are they called here? Atrociraptor? Atrociraptor. That would be my guess. Atrociraptor. Luckily, the water isn't too deep. I can get around this Atrociraptor without actually aggroing it. Fort Gone. So, if you watched my the playing of the cinematic at the end of episode 3, or you've just seen the cinematic, like, this is the location where, like, the fire is going, and, you know, Urianger is like, we cannot we cannot ignore the fate, or you know, whatever. And you know, Y'shtola's like standing on the top of like a structure. This one, and just like looking out at everything, you know, on fire. This is where that happens. The person know how Urianger enjoys painting pictures with his words, but he did not exaggerate about this place. Urianger said they were rebuilding, but there's no one here. Well, where is this friend of yours we've come to meet? 'Tis a good question. Let me stand here and look.
I see little sign of recent activity, nor hath any meaningful progress been made with the reconstruction. Mayhap Y'shtola sought shelter elsewhere. Come, let us quit this place.
Let us quit this place. We need to, like, say things like that more.
Surround them!
Let us quit this place. You know? Like, instead of just being like, hey, you know, let's leave. It's like, let us quit this place. It just has such a nice, like, it just has a bit more of a bite to it.
Senators, they're not like the others.
There's
like
a reason for that. Lower your weapons, please. We mean you no harm.
How is it they can speak?
It's a Sin Eater trick. They mean to kill us all.
Please, we're not Sin Eaters. Koopa?
That will seem a lot less amusing when we are forced to kill them.
Oh, for the love of... I had hoped that by accompanying you, we might come to understand one another. But all I have come to understand is that you have a knack for inflaming the natives. You've committed the cardinal sin of boring me. And so, I retire to the shade. Good luck.
There! Did you see that one disappear?
I think I preferred La Habrea.
Enough. Runar, report.
Master Matoya!
Oh. There she is.
We apprehended them as you ordered, but are you certain these are Sin Eaters?
The intense light of the ether I saw was unmistakable. If not Sin Eaters, then what?
Tis passing queer that Y'shtola should mistake us for the enemy, is it not? Mayhap it hath been too long since last she beheld the radiance of thine ether. Master Matoya, hath time truly made strangers of us?
Nay, I recognize you, Urianger, Thancred. And this is Minfilia of the First, of whom you spoke before.
Just so. And knowing as thou must that we come in peace, might I prevail upon thee to have thy comrades lower their arms?
First explain this other presence in your company. the one I know not. There is but one manner of creature in this world whose ether is suffused with such an abundance of light.
Mine apologies, Master Matoya, but thou art mistaken. Before thee standeth our dearest comrade, the truest hero among us. Though she is but recently arrived here in the First, not one but 2 Light Wardens have already perished by her most puissant hand.
It cannot be.
It's been too long, clearly. Nice to see you too, Master Matoya. You truly thought me a Sin Eater?
Master Matoya?
Lower your weapons. Forgive us this hostile welcome. Come. I would give you a proper introduction to Raktika and its people.
So, little piece of info for anybody who's not aware. Y'shtola is blind. Completely. What she does is she uses a spell to let her see ether around her. And that's what she sees. So, I'm here, and she should be seeing what she would normally see, my ether. But instead, she's seeing the ether of the 2 Light Wardens that I slayed. And so she can't see my ether underneath all of that light. That she should imagine her a stranger. That ended a lot better than it might have. No thanks to Emmett Selk. Didn't expect her to be so imposing in person. You have been busy since arriving in the First, I gather. But I would hear the tale of your travails in more suitable surroundings. With Fort gone yet to be rebuilt, the Knights Blessed have made their home in a settlement to the northeast. I will await you at its entrance. Follow the path through yonder gate and you'll find me soon enough. So we skip half of the map here at the very beginning. I mean, we work throughout it after this, but yeah, we go all the way freaking to here, right away at the start, which I thought was really wild. It's wow, we pushed all the way to the middle of the map to even start the zone, you know? So hello, Y'shtola. There you are. I was beginning to worry. Much like the 12s would, this forest has a way of dealing with those who stray too far from the beaten path. But I digress. Let me show you the home of the Knights Blessed. Into the darkness! This is really cool, to be honest. You go down into this cave. And, yes, there's an opening here, but it's still like, wow, you know, that they're really doing everything they can to stay out of the light, to make their home here and so swiftly. Would surely have required no small amount of ingenuity. Most impressive feat, wouldst thou not agree? Finally, a place to rest. Have you ever seen such a tree? To think these are only the roots.
Slitherbow is the largest of the blessed settlements.
Slitherbow.
They worship no gods, instead revering darkness itself.
Not even a
god
god of darkness?
kind of faith, but one which has granted them the strength to persevere in the wake of the flood. I hope you weren't expecting a grand feast by way of welcome. They are a simple people.
That's
Now, I would hear of your travels away from prying ears. Come.
I will say, the voice acting is better since they switched to new voice actors. Granted, that was back in ARR.
And now you seek the Light Warden of Raktika.
But still.
In the days after I arrived in the First, I too relied upon the Crystal Exarch for guidance. But his penchant for secrecy and the telling of half-truths soon lost him my trust. And thus did I strike out on my own. My work eventually led me here to the forest, which I have come to know like the back of my hand. I cannot say with certainty where your quarry is hiding, but I am confident I can narrow the search.
Well, go on then.
Some few thousand years ago, this forest stood at the heart of the Empire of Ronka. A great many relics of that civilization can still be found to the east in Ixmaya.
Ixmaya.
Or rather, could be found, were the area not fiercely guarded. Ixmaya, you see, is home to a tribe of warriors whose lineage is said to date back to the time of the Empire. Any attempt to enter their territory is met with lethal force. They offer no warnings, and suffer no trespasser to escape. Needless to say, my every attempt to survey the area has been thwarted.
Mayhap the Warden hideth there, full knowing none may approach it for fear of these protectors.
As for the tablet, I find the timing of its discovery suspiciously convenient. If I did not know better, I would think someone was trying to curry favor with me. Regardless, it will take time to decipher these writings. Yet I would not be at all surprised if they somehow held the key to entering Ixmaya unmolested. The Exarch has a nose for serendipity.
If there is aught I can do to assist thee in unraveling their secrets, thou needst only ask.
Thank you, Urianger. I may well take you up on that offer. While we set to work, might I suggest you take a tour of the city? Should you be in any doubt as to the importance of your role as the Warrior of Darkness, the people here will surely cure you of it.
I must say, Stola, while most of us have struggled to come to terms with our altered circumstances, you seem to have adapted rather well.
Lest you forget, Master Matoya and I dedicated our lives to uncovering the truth which hides at the heart of our world.
Uncovering the truth.
Though separate, the fate of this reflection is nevertheless bound to that of our home. That I would be daunted by such an invaluable opportunity is absurd. But what of you, Thancred? Could it be that you are still struggling to come to terms with the nature of your young companion?
Ooh.
My struggles are none of your concern. Quite why you would speak thus and in this company, I do not know. Perhaps you left more of yourself back in the source than I assumed. If you'll excuse me.
He understands that I'm not the same. That I'm not her.
Understands, perhaps, but does not accept. The question being whether he ever will. And whether you will, more importantly. As difficult as your circumstances may be, they are yours, not his. 'Tis you and you alone who bears ultimate responsibility for your life.
That's true.
But you need not make any hard choices now. Why not go and get some fresh air, clear your head?
Into the dark. A day in the neighborhood. Y'shtola is staring off into the distance, lost in thought. I'm not indifferent to Thancred's troubles. Nevertheless, I will not apologize for holding him to a higher standard after all these years. He's ever been a man of considerable resolve, and that is what I will continue to expect. Though it heartens me to know that some of us remain ourselves in spite of our present circumstances. I can but imagine how Alisay and Elfino have changed since arriving here on the first. Change is part of life. We can but hope it's a change for the better. Perhaps you should be concerned with how you have changed. You're right. After my untoward remarks to Thancred, no doubt he thinks I changed for the worst. I will have to speak with him later. Returning to the matter at hand, I really must begin work on deciphering this tablet. In the meantime, perhaps you should take a look through Slitherbow. If there is anything you need, pray speak with Runar at the plaza. When Y'shtola first arrived in the first, she made swift work of the Cabinet of Curiosity. Her thirst yet unsated, she then journeyed hither, seeking the wisdom of Ronka. She found little in the way of welcome from the blessed, however. 'Twas not until the Great Fire, where she denied the Sin Eaters a feast of ether, that she gained their trust. Since then I have served as liaison, twixt Slitherbow and the Crystarium, that she might be kept abreast of the others' efforts. I wish I'd never. I have instructed Runar to help you with anything you should require. And even though, like, this area is out in the open, all of the buildings are dug into the freaking sides of the caves here. It's really cool. Welcome, friend. Welcome. My apologies for a less than hospitable greeting earlier. Tell me, what is your name? From where do you hail? From the Crystarium, I see. And this tablet you brought may help us find the Light Warden here in Raktika. Well, you are welcome to stay with us for as long as you need. Come, let me show you around. Would it be alright if I joined you? Of course, of course! Anything for the guests of our dear Master Matoya. Thank you. She means a great deal to the Knights Blessed, doesn't she? If not for her, we may have all perished in the Great Fire. With our priests slain and our home in ruins, we were at the mercy of the Sin Eaters. It was she who drove them back, and with her sage guidance we were able to rebuild. Before long she became a central figure in our community, a great oak within whose shadow many have come to find solace. That is not to say there were not those hesitant to grant an outsider such authority, myself included. Perhaps it is a smile in her eyes when she speaks of the sunless sea. I feel whole again. Now that she is with us, and I have no doubt the others feel the same. She is as much a part of the Knights Blessed as any of us, and we are grateful for all she does in the service to the Dark. But you did not hear this from me, yes? Now, you know there are certain customs we ask guests to adhere to, so long as they reside within Slitherbow. To show reverence to the Dark? In a word, yes, but fear not, it is not too involved. Let us begin with something simple. Follow me. We start from the right side. Right? Coming out that way? Yes, right. Ingvar! Nope, I can't talk to him in New Game Plus mode. I bet I can't talk to Davith either. I can. We use the jugs to produce yeast. Of all the goods we have to trade, it is perhaps the most valuable. How about that? I could talk to him. I thought Master Matoya kept her room dark because she didn't need the light. But they're all like hers, aren't they? Should you see any of our people come to this chamber, they have likely returned from a journey beyond the borders of Arctica. We use the water stored here to cleanse ourselves of the light's impurity. A simple and perhaps peculiar custom, but it is one of our most important. Would you two kneel for just a moment, that I might rid you of the light's impurity? / kneel before Runar. I don't have to type it, luckily, because there's a button now. As Runar lightly sprays you with water, your skin begins to tingle. And with that, you have been cleansed of the light's blighted touch. How do you feel? I'm not sure, to be honest. Not refreshed exactly, but I do feel different. Has this water been treated in some way? Only blessed by our priests. Priests, rather. They are practiced in the arcane arts. As such, it is said their prayers imbue the water with a faint, dark energy. A prickling sensation. No one has ever spoken of such a reaction before. I wouldn't say it was an unpleasant sensation, but I too felt something strange. The dark aspect of this water should have no discernible effect, unless... By the gods, Master Matoya was right. You are Sin Eaters. I jest. What you felt was likely no more than the chill of the water. Perhaps now would be a good time for you to acquaint yourselves with the people of Slitherbow. For that, I must teach you a customary greeting. Alin Tutar, in the language of Ronka, it is one of several ways one might say good evening. The world is not as safe as it once was, and this greeting lets us quickly discern friend from foe. Is there a handshake or gesture we should know too? I'd hate to offend anyone. You need not worry. Merely speak the words Alin Tutar, and they will know you as friends of the blessed. I will await your return here. Now go. They are likely to be heartened by your knowledge of our ways. Chat and say, type in Alin Tutar to greet people. The elderly woman smiles warmly. Vandia. There's also something going on down there. A newly come traveler, Lin Chisi, and welcome to Slitherbow. You must forgive us if we seem strangely reserved. We are a quiet and taciturn people. Silent and serene as the sunless sea, the quiet makes it easy to discern the presence of eaters and other dangers here in the woods. Ah, yes, there is a way down here. Okay. Still remember when I first came here as a child. Everyone was still dressed in garbs of all sorts and colors. But yet to find any sense of community back then. My brother and I came here 2 years ago after the Great Fire. It still hurts to think of home and all that we've lost. Maybe I should join him. I mean, it looks like they're just playing hopscotch. They don't have a hopscotch freaking thing, but it does just look like they're playing hopscotch. But perhaps it has all become a crap, what's the word? Great many of the plants near Slitherbow can be used to make dye. Though but tatters of their former glory, the purple standards surrounding the village's entrance are a testament to the abundance of materials at our disposal. Once knew twins who had hair just like yours. Interesting. The purple hair or the hairstyle? Also, this guy is really clearly Ronso. He's got the horn. It's actually interesting because the Ronso of this world generally don't have horns. And that was like a big deal in Final Fantasy X. Like, Kamari was exiled from the Ronso because his horn was broken, so away with you. My bad. I forgot to type in the thing. Alin Chasi, welcome friend. Take it you will remain in these woods for some time, yes? Be wary of these woods. You'll find poison in nearly everything you see. But fear not. Our medicinal tea will keep you healthy. Ask and it is yours. So they do put a small amount of, like, dark aspected ether into the water. Interesting that both me and Minfilia seem to get some kind of adverse reaction to that. Everyone was so kind and gracious. I was nervous at first, but already I'm starting to feel at home. There's still much I have to learn about the Knights Blessed, but their faith and strength of will is nothing short of inspiring. I can see how they've built such a thriving community. A helping hand. Judging by the glint in Runar's eye, there's more for you to learn about Slitherbow. Ah, you are returned. Very good. No doubt they were glad of your company. It has been too long since we have had visitors. Remember, if you have any questions or there is anything you need, do not hesitate to ask. Understood. Speaking of which, we must arrange food and lodgings for your stay. As friends of Master Matoya, we cannot ask for payment, but if you would be willing to lend a hand, it would be my pleasure. I'd rather not. Nah, Rin would never say that. It'd be my pleasure. We are fortunate indeed to play host to such generous souls. The task I have in mind is simple enough. Also, you can get these outfits from the dungeon, so all I ask is that you take a jug and water the crops in the square. May I help too? Of course. One of you can do the filling and the other with the watering. Speak with Urzabel when you have finished. She'll be relieved to hear the crops have been tended to. While you take care of that, I will see to your room and a warm meal. Right then, I'll fill you water. This was the only jug I could find which was small enough to lift, but I'm afraid there's a crack in the bottom. We'll need to hurry to the garden before all the water leaks out. And our first time with transporting. Yay! Because this is not an annoying mechanic that they have used everywhere since. Watered half of the plot. Fetch another jug of water to take care of the rest. Like, it's not a bad mechanic, but when you've gone 3 expansions, you know, ARR, Stormblood, Heavensward, like, always being able to just carry whatever. Freaking, in Realm Reborn, there's a quest where you just, like, pick up 4 bodies at a time. Like, entire people, you know? But here it's like, but now ever since they've added this mechanic, it's like, randomly there'll be a quest of like, oh, here's this small box. You know, now carry it. That's like, really? Is there enough water for the plot? I need one more. Only half? I see. Let me refill the jug for you. You'll have 30 seconds to complete the objective this time. We had 45 last time. Ah, Of course, I got stuck on a wall. This one's 45, but it's further out. Or this one's 30, but it's further out. But they gave you 45 to begin with, so that you could get used to it. So, there's the bell. But it's really funny when you think about, like, yeah, the second one, I get freaking less time. Well met, travelers. I observed you earlier speaking with the others. Have you need of something? I was told to talk to you after watering the crops. Water the crops? Ah, my apologies for not noticing sooner. I've been rather distracted of late. Watering the crops was always Todia's duty, but she is no longer with us. We have since taken to sharing the duty, though never with guests. You are most kind. Is there anything else we can do to help? We could plant something if you like. There is no need. The plot is small, it is true, but it provides us with enough to survive. We ask for no more. Don't know how you manage. Have the blessed not considered leaving? Life would surely be easier almost anywhere else. I can understand why you might say that, but the easiest path is not always the right one. Tell me, do you know our history? How our faith came to be? Yes, I believe so. Knights Blessed was initially formed by those who lost their homes in the wake of the flood. What began as an occasional gathering of survivors eventually grew into a community, which ultimately decided to strike out on its own in the Rocktika Greatwood. You see, I've read your history. But there is a history that is told, and one that is lived. Like so many in those times, the first of the Knights Blessed lost everything. Their homes, their loved ones, all they held dear. To make matters worse, none could say what became of the souls of those lost to the flood when their bodies were reborn as sin-eaters. The people were without answers, without hope, the gods having drowned along with everything else. It seemed that nothing was beyond the reach of the lights. But soon, they realized that where there is light, there must be darkness. And in that truth they found new faith, a belief that the souls of the departed could yet find peace beyond these burning skies and the sunless sea above. That is why we pray for the safe passage of wayward souls under that blessed black abyss, for the return of the night, that we might some day look upon the kingdom of heaven with our own eyes. We remain in these woods for the self-same reason our founders first chose them, that we may lead lives of simplicity, with the shade of these trees as a constant reminder of our faith. For so many seeking paradise in Yulmore, it's refreshing to find people who value a humbler existence. You are kind to say so. Many consider our way of life foolish, so it must seem to those who yet cling to their worldly possessions. In times such as these, when everything can be taken away in an instant, it's all too easy to lose sight of why we fight to go on living. It's not to hold fast to material things, but to hold those who went before us in our hearts, to keep alive the legacy they have left us. This we must do for them, our children, and generations yet unborn. To keep their legacy alive. Ba, ba, ba. People from all walks of life are welcome among the Knights Blessed. Our faith in the darkness is infinitely greater than the sum of our differences. Lost but not forgotten. Runar has more work to be done. See, unfortunately, this is how religions are created. Not through, learning things properly, but instead by hopes and dreams and wishes. Done tending to the crops already. Very good. Should not be long before your room is ready. Runar! He falls over panting despite the fact that he was just walking casually. In the woods! Sin Eaters! Fear they may have the touch. Where? It's in the grove to the southwest. For mercy, they've yet to wander any closer to Slitherbow. Then we have no need to engage. Inform the guard that no one is to set foot outside the village until they have moved on. But sir, what of Todia's Heartstone? It must be retrieved before the service. Of all the time for Sin Eaters to appear. Are you just going to leave them alone? Under normal circumstances, we would not hesitate in striking the beast down. But if they indeed have the touch, I will not risk them corrupting one of our own. What was that you said about a stone? A few days passed. Todia, a child of the Knights Blessed, was slain by the Sin Eaters. We succeeded in retrieving her body, but in our haste we failed to notice her necklace was gone. Strung to it was a pendant of jade, her heartstone. All of the Knights Blessed are given such a stone at birth. It is the most valuable possession one can own. It is custom to present the heartstone of the deceased at their funeral as an offering to the heavens. But now, What if I could find it for you? Huh? I have experience fighting Sin Eaters, and the light's corruption does not touch me like it does others. Master Matoya called you Minfilia, did she not? Are you truly the Minfilia, descended from the Oracle? Even so, I dare not ask you to risk your life for the blessed. I understand how you feel, but can't stand by knowing that your people are in need, and I can help. Please let me do this. Very well. But if the danger proves too great, you must retreat. I can never forgive myself if we were forced to hold a second service. Nearly forgot about Thancred. What if he returns before I do? Don't worry, I'll come with you. Thancred doesn't need to know. Thank you. With you at my side, I'm certain we can deal with them in no time at all. Go swiftly, and may the shadows keep you both. Alrighty. So off we go to the south. Mind Maker. He's not aggressive. I can come over and look at him for a moment. What the frick even is he? He's an elite mark. So, you know, I wouldn't want to even think about trying to fight him. Not at level freaking 76. It should be around here somewhere, I think. Let's look for Sin Eaters. They're around here somewhere too. There, the Sin Eaters. Yep. Definitely ones with the touch. I was hoping there would only be one. There's no way we can search for the stone without dealing with them first. Let's get to it then. Perhaps we split them up. What do you propose we do? Let's get to it then. What? Shouldn't we make a plan first? Though there are only two. I'll draw one of them away. You can deal with the other. Not that we can actually see Minfilia taking care of the other one. Which is a little sad. Like, where did she take it? You know? Given dissonance. Easy. Oh, is she like all the way over there? I wonder if I could have seen her dealing with it. If I had come all the way over here. You know, where she was. Probably not. Vin, there you are. Son. So, I fear I was a bit careless. I'll do better next time, I promise. I'm fine. Needn't worry about me. More importantly, we have to find that Heartstone. I said it was made of jade, right? I'll search over there in the brush. Dang, Minfilia. Great job. Freaking annihilated that girl. Or thing, I suppose. Just because it looks like a freaking, you know, female angel statue doesn't really mean anything. All things considered. Pile of leaves over here. Seems to be no trace of the Heartstone here. It's very difficult to not say Hearthstone. No trace of the Heartstone here. Well, that's 2 locations. But where the frick even is the 3rd location? It must be here somewhere. You would think so. But there's only 2 locations. And I searched both of them. Whee, whoop. Okay, there's one right here. There's the 3rd one. It was hidden behind absolutely everything else. You brush away the leaves and uncover a brilliant green gem. Whee! Right over the helm beetle. Did you have any luck? Jade Heartstone, a keepsake once belonging to Todia of the Knights Blessed. It's beautiful. This has to be it. You know, Thancred always said you were a woman of many talents, and I think I'm beginning to understand what he meant. I have much to learn if I'm to be even half the hero you are. The hero she was. I'm sorry. Forget I said anything. We should hurry back to Slitherbow. Renar and the others are probably worried. Whee! I honestly don't remember how much of this side of the map we actually, like, touch in the MSQ. I know that all of this, like Tusi Mekta here, is part of the Great Serpent of Ronka quest. But I'm feeling like we definitely come up here for something. Lazotl's Conquest, Cleric, the Lazotl, the Red Chalice. I'm feeling like the Red Chalice is something in MSQ. But I don't know. I know it's part of Ronka, if not, so. The Great Serpent of Ronka is actually a very big quest line. Thancred, I can explain. Well, out with it then. Thank goodness you are safe. I'd begun to fear the worst. By all that is dark, you found it. We can proceed with their service as planned. These blessed gems serve not only to protect us in life, but to guide our spirits under the sunless sea in the hereafter. Even should we be felled by the Sin Eaters, so long as these gems are recovered, our souls are ensured peace in the dark. Saying goodbye, Renar lets out a sigh of relief. Words fail to express my gratitude for this kindness you have done for the blessed. I must insist you and your friends attend Todia's service as honored guests. There's still much we must do to prepare, but please go and inform the others. It will be held in the darker. When you arrive, there should be an attendant present to explain the proceedings. Fred and I learned so much about the Knights Blessed while you were away. And we helped them recover a lost heirloom out in the woods. I wasn't supposed to leave, but they really need our help. They were Sin Eaters, and as long as we accompanied you, you've tried to be more careful. Your injuries could have been a lot worse. How did you... Let's just say a little bird told me. It's telling me now that Rin is business with us. Is something the matter? They've asked us to attend the service. Of course we'll go. being held in the darker, is it? Take care not to be late, I promise. And this, I believe, is the darker. Yep. Needless to say, you can understand why it's called that. It's very dark in here. Big bowl. The elderly woman will hand you a candle, then points over at a nearby corner where you might place it. Over here. A handmade candle of the Night's Blessed. It burns an eerie blue when lit. Pop! Candle! And now we simply wait. Like, I do understand the complaint that a lot of it is just go here, talk to NPC, go here, talk to new NPC.
It seemed only right that we show our faces. May we join you?
But as a person who knows nothing about MMOs other than like World of Warcraft, and who knows really nothing about RPGs and like how to craft the stories in them, I really have no idea what you would do differently. I really don't.
Let us begin.
But I do understand the complaints.
I thank you all for coming to pay respects to our fallen daughter of the night. In the light, she was known as Todia, but in the dark, we shall remember her always as Menine. Let us each take a moment to offer her our prayers.
Ah, nope. But putting on moisturizing cream. I didn't want to touch the mouse while my hands were gunky. I was hoping if I hit enter it would just progress, but I don't. But you know, freaking that doesn't work.
We entrust her now to the night's sweet embrace.
And unfortunately, that just brings up the freaking chat, which I should have realized would be the case, because that's what always happens. But
in darkness will she be free from pain and suffering, now and forevermore. May her soul find peace in the sunless sea of heaven, and in the love we bear for her in our hearts.
That vessel represents the night sky, the sunless sea of heaven.
look, it's all the other heartstones. Not that, you know, we can see any of that from over here. It's
call
fine.
upon you now, O bringer of shadow, to lead this gentle soul onto the sea. We call upon you, O warrior of darkness, to deliver her unto paradise everlasting.
I am told you assisted in the preparations for the service. On behalf of the Blessed, you have my sincerest thanks.
No problem.
The enduring legend of the Warrior of Darkness owes much to the traditions of these people. And none were more ardent in their faith than Todia. She would have been greatly moved by your presence.
Should like to have met her. You know, I don't deserve such reverence.
You might not deliver her to the heavens, but if you could deliver the night sky to her people, the real night sky, it would be the next best thing.
True.
Their prayers would finally be answered. They could gaze up at the firmament and see their ancestors in every twinkle of the stars. We cannot allow their hopes and dreams to drown in the light. We have to bring back the dark. If we don't, who will?
It's true.
Forgive me, thinking of all those we have lost.
No, it's all right. We will bring back the dark.
Mayhaps sooner than later, in fact. Orionje and I finished deciphering the tablet, and its contents were most illuminating. Let us reconvene in my chambers. We have much to discuss.
Oop, slightly more further. There we go. And she has another room down that way that we just can't access. Hopefully Yastola has good news to share. Attempt to reclaim the night has lit a fire in Minfilia that I would see kindled. What do you suppose she's gleaned from the tablet? I have no doubt thou wilt find the contents of the tablet most informative. Good, you're here. Thanks to the Exarch's gift, our next course of action is now clear. Hither now. Stola seems quite pleased with herself, but whether she has good or bad news to share remains to be seen. Let me begin by first explaining the origins of this tablet. I initially believed it might detail the history of the Church of the First Light, but to my surprise, it dates back to the end of the Ronkan Empire. It was likely written under the direction of the reigning ruler. It was a time of strife and unceasing war with neighboring nations. With each passing day, they yielded more and more territory to their enemies. In their desperation, petitions for aid were sent out to their allies. This was one such petition. And you think this ancient petition will somehow help us get into Yux Maya? Indeed we do. For etched into this tablet is a method by which one may prove themselves an ally of the Ronkan Empire. Provided we are able to decipher said instructions, we may entreat the ruined protectors to grant us safe passage. Problem, however, is I precisely lack the resources to decipher them in their entirety. I have but one recourse. There exists a stone monument inscribed with ancient Ronkan text and translations into a more modern dialect, which came into use after the fall of the Empire. I am confident it will suit our purposes. Where can we find this monument? Here in Scythia, quite close to Slitherbow, in fact. The good news ends there, however, for it is in the possession of a rather radical faction of Dark worshippers, the Children of the Everlasting Dark. If I am to study the monument, I must infiltrate their encampment. I have no intention of taking longer than absolutely necessary, but I will nevertheless require time to transcribe the text I need. To ensure that I will have enough, I'm afraid I must ask you and Thancred to assist me. And before you even ask, the answer is no. For meant to remain unseen, our group must be as small as possible. Alright, I'll stay here until you return. It won't be long. If anything should happen, you keep her safe. And let us convene outside, to the west of Slitherbow, where the path diverges. Yes. I think this is what I was thinking. I think this is where we go up here. Either up to here or over to here. I don't know which. But yes, I do believe we go over in that direction because I think that's where the people that they just talked about. Already forgotten the name. Children of the Night. That's it. I think that's where they are. Is up in that corner. All set? The encampment we seek is to the north, but it would be foolish to simply rush in. A guard has been posted at Cleric to keep watch over the children. Perhaps he has aught to share of their recent activity. But we must tread carefully. There's a chance we may encounter them along the way. Stay close and stay alert. I would avoid a confrontation if possible. They rejoice in dealing death to others, claiming that in doing so they cleanse their victims of sin and usher them unto the sunless sea. I would rather not sully my hands defending myself against such madmen. This is the thing. When you have beliefs over facts, you know? Like, this is what happens. You get radicalization on both sides. By the blessed dark. Thank goodness you are unharmed. We would have arrived sooner, but we too had a rather unwelcome visit from the children. You aren't acquaintance with Master Matoya, then? My apologies. The children have been acting strange of late, so I thought to take a closer look. I was careless. Strange. What have you seen? At first there seemed to be nothing out of the ordinary, the usual gathering of ingredients for poisons from flora and fauna. But then I took notice of their venomous spiders. They've been breeding them in much greater numbers. It's as if they're preparing for something. Any ideas as to what? It could be anything, really. If it meant the end of the Blessed, nothing would be too cruel or violent for them. But perhaps we can use their present preoccupation with spiders to our advantage. If we were to introduce a threat to the nests where they keep them, the children would be compelled to save them. Bees, for example, are a natural predator of spiders. Set them loose on the nests, and we would have our opportunity to sneak into their encampment. What a mischievous plan. I like it. With a bit of smoke, we should be able to subdue a few colonies long enough to secure their hives. Is there anything we might be able to use? We should have smoke bombs at the outpost just over there. Then it's settled. Grab a few smoke bombs from the outpost and search about for beehives. I imagine the bees won't take too kindly to your visit, but once they're knocked out, take the beehives and bring them back here. 2 will suffice, I should think. Yeah, I think the womb is their base, is the idea. Which is probably why I remember going over here for these quests. Into the womb area. The smoke bomb on the beehive. That one right there. Poof. I don't actually know if it's really worth using Higanbana on these, like, little things. Large burlap sap, large enough to fit a dwarf. That was what I needed to use. I was confused there for a second. I was like, wait a minute, what am I doing here? I'm not just taking the beehive? I suppose that makes sense. I suppose it does make sense. You wouldn't want to just pick up a beehive after all. This isn't Minecraft. Like, hopefully I'm not, like, killing too many of the bees here. You know? But also, like, how exactly am I, like, attacking the bees with my giant sword? We got some real D&D logic going on here. Card returned to Slitherbow, but not before offering his thanks. As for the beehives, Thancred and I were successful in inquiring what we need. How did you fare? Buzzing burlap sack. Buzzing burlap sack. For God's sake, don't let them out. There you go. 2 bags of bees. This is more than enough. Children are certain to be displeased. Let us hurry before the bees begin to stir. Bag is sealed tight, but I'd rather not keep the bees buzzing about in there longer than we have to. Y'shtola is ready to move. A beautiful plan. Beautiful plan. Children's settlement is to the west. Place they call Woven Oath. According to the guard, there is an airway apart from the entrance which leads to the spider's nests. If the fates are kind, the way will be clear. You expect the fates to be kind about this? In fairness, though, I do have the ability to just fly. So it's okay. Should move quickly before any of the children arrive. Up there is the airway. Do you see it? Bit far, perhaps, but we should be able to toss the bag through. Though we should probably loosen the ropes keeping it closed, enough that it falls open when it lands inside. May I do the honors? That should do it. Now we wait. What is that? Bees! By the abyss, they're everywhere! Help! Someone help! We have to save the spiders! Sounds like our plan is working. Still, it is quite likely not all were drawn away from their posts. If you should come to blows with the children, I'll see to it any signs of the struggle are concealed. Failing that, I'll create a distraction to buy Y'shtola more time. Should anyone get past me, it falls to you to guard her. Your concern is appreciated, but I sincerely doubt it will come to that. Why do I get the feeling you enjoy the idea of my loafing about bored in the shadows? Come now, Thancred. Shadows are a fitting place for a warrior of darkness. Now, if you both are ready. Yep, up into the womb, just like I figured would be the case. Oh, but you can't actually go this way. I see. You have to go over here. Unless one were to just, utilize the fact that they have flight. Whee! Just so that I don't have to go all the way around. Lol, 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 lol. Whoa. Over this way. Oh, hey, look. It's a very similar location. Also, this guy freaking would not be aggro. So, I guess he just has to die. It's fine. It would probably do well to freaking annihilate the majority of their cult. Font of Seeing suggests this is a chamber for prayer. At the very least, they would not place this near potential distractions from their worship. Perhaps the monument is further in. Ooh. What does it mean, though? Darkness. That is all I can make of that, is that is darkness. Yes, this is it. I will peep at a moment. Keep watch of the entryway. On second thought, would you mind examining the murals on these walls while I look over this? At a glance I can tell they are old, predating the founding of the Blessed and the Children, in fact. Would not like to come here for a second time. It would behoove us to learn all that we can. Is it a clicky thing? Yep. Look at the mural. Primitive mural. Mural appears to be ancient. A warrior in the middle stands triumphant over what appears to be a creature of shadow. Other figures surround the warrior, rejoicing in their victory. Interesting, interesting. The Ronkin mural. The mural appears to be very old. A ruler sits atop a throne attended by their subjects. The mural appears to be fairly old. A knight shields himself and their comrades from an encroaching darkness. Central figure is considerably faded. Oh yeah, you see. Coming darkness. But what does it mean?
These paintings, they seem familiar. Depictions of heroes throughout history. The Age of Gods, the Empire of Ronka, and this. There was a man, a researcher who pored over these pieces. He offered us work when we needed it, slaying beasts, delivering provisions. A funny old bugger he was, but he had a good heart. He believed this first painting dated back to a time of myth and legends, a tribute to the heroes of a long-forgotten era. The story went that it was rediscovered by an explorer from Ronka, who was so struck by its majesty that a second painting was commissioned, commemorating the heroes of their day. One day you will all be here too, he said. Heroes immortalized forever. Maybe I'll paint you myself? I had a good laugh at that. We were only trying to make our way after all. Being heroes couldn't have been further from our minds. But it seems he actually went and did it. Before or after the flood, I wonder. Rather faded, isn't it? Compared to the others. Or did someone try to scrape it off the wall? Well, maybe the man himself once he came to his senses. Do you suppose your deeds will warrant an addition to this collection? Or some other kind of monument?
There you are. I have everything I need. Let us quit this place.
Let us quit this place. Right? I love that. Huh? Where'd he go?
Is something the matter? We should go. The others are waiting.
Huh. She didn't see him. And he's also... It also, like, he's gone. But also... Interesting that that last one is apparently... of the Warriors of Light. I believe I now have everything needed to finish deciphering the tablet. Tell me, Rin, did the mirrors appear to be of any significance? Depictions of heroes in the age of the gods, the Ronkan Empire, and immediately before the flood. Very astute observations. Perhaps in another lifetime you could be a curator of antiquities. Though it has no bearing on the task at hand, perhaps that knowledge may prove to be of use in the future. It will, trust me. An unwanted proposal. Your soul is thirst for knowledge sated. She seems content to return to Slitherbow. Let us hurry to Slitherbow. The others are waiting. After we've returned, the two of you should rest a while. No doubt Runar will be eager to have you sample his cooking. As soon as I discover anything of import, you will be the first to know. And back to Slitherbow. Although, before we do, I just want to come over here for a second, because I've never actually looked over here. Really cool. There's a lookout thing here. Vista record. According to Ronkan legend, the great steps of this waterfall were carved by the giant Lizotl. Historians speculate that this mythical figure was, in fact, an early form of Talos, and likely the self-same construct responsible for building Ronka's resplendent places of worship. Eh! That was too many of the freaking sound effects that I struggle with all in a row. Cool. I've actually never, like, been over here. Except for this quest, you know? And I guess I, like, you know, I didn't, like, look over here during it. Because, like, I had no concept of Lizotl until after the dungeon. Where we fight Lizotl. Spoilers, I guess, by the way. Huh. Oh, the Isle of Bows is over here. This is just the Isle of Bows right here. I guess the tree, like, grew so big and strong that it, like, busted the ground up or something. I haven't a clue what I'm looking at. And then behind that there's another island. And there's something over here. It's something related, it's something around this area. I don't think, like, I feel like I recognize this blue path from, like, a quest, but I don't remember what it is. So, also, yes, you'll notice I did pick up the sightseeing log, because it turns out I have the ability to unlock that, so I picked it up. Like, if I had had that, I could have shown you the jump that you have to make in Yulmore. Like, well, more properly, I should say. Because, you know, I did technically show it to you, but... and also that is the deliberating doll, apparently. Just this giant mound. I don't know why, but it's a giant mound called the deliberating doll. And the top of it exists right on the edge of the flight height. That's ridiculous. I love that. Covered halls of Dwati, I guess, is what this mound is. Oh no, that's just a mound. Covered halls of Dwati are over here. I see. I was reading the thing incorrectly. Guess this is the covered halls of Dwati? Over here. This thing. Like this spot? I have no idea. They're like, oh, there's an underwater area here. Cool. Oh, there's a big hole down here. Ooh, what the frick? This is like just Runkin construction that we'll see later. Ooh. The covered halls of Dwatol. Dwatol, not Dwati. One of the sacred temples built by the Runkins. These stone halls were safeguarded by a sect of priests even after the fall of the Empire. Rising waters of the lake, however, could not be denied, and rumors persist of a secret treasure which was swallowed along the temple. Along with the temple. Maybe there's a side quest for it? Who knows? Ooh. Cool. I've never seen this area. I saw it on the map, but I was like, huh? Yeah, I didn't even know that there was like an underwater section to all of this. Also, like, this might sound weird, but like, kind of spooky at the same time. Oh, there's multiple covered halls of Dwatol. I see, I see. That's why I thought that it was that spot, because it's here as well. There's multiple covered halls of Dwatol. Although this one does not appear to be under the water. Because there's nothing actually here, but I'm at the location. So, unless like it's down here. Oh, it is. Cool. Ooh. Big Ronkin door. Again, I've never seen any of this, so I'm just like exploring. And then there's supposed to be another one around these parts. Maybe. Or... oh, I like passed it. About, like, by a lot. It's like, it's right here. Yep. Oh! Like, it's right there. It's right across. Over the halls of Dwattel. Interesting. I wonder if there was like a lookout spot like here or something for like each of these. When you got one, you got them all kind of thing. I don't know. Squirrel? Cat? I have no idea what that even is. Owl? It's got, whatever it is, it's got horns. Yeah, I legitimately didn't even know that there was like an underwater area here. So, that's really cool. That never gets touched in any MSQ. Maybe it gets touched on in like a quest line, in like a side quest, but I've never, like, I'll be honest, I really don't do a lot of the side quests in the game. So, I do the MSQ, and I'm generally pretty happy with that, you know? Rin, the guard told me you left with Master Matoya to Woven Oath. No sooner do you return than she locks herself away in her chambers without so much as a word. She knows how I worry when she leaves without telling me. But she is safe. That is all that matters. You must be hungry after such a journey. Want to have a seat there by the fire, so the stew will soon be ready. Ah! That fire. I see. Kitty cat. Well, that was a kitty cat. I thought there was a kitty cat. Thought I saw a cat, but I don't see a cat now, so.
Strange.
Clicky click. There goes.
The others on patrol should have returned by now. Our food will be overcooked if we wait any longer. We will just have to start without them. Would you call Master Matoya and the others?
Sure.
I tire of these games, Urianger. Why do you pretend you cannot see it?
Eh?
The blessing may spare her the fate of becoming a Light Warden. But you cannot be blind to the nascent corruption. She is not as she was in the Source. Though I have no proof, I fear that the light which poured forth from the Wardens was not negated at all. I fear it was absorbed, that she has been suffused with their light.
That doesn't seem good.
Though I have given thought to this possibility, I dare not speak until more is known.
By the time you deign to enlighten us, it may be too late, if it is not already. Urianger, I know full well, after all these years, that you have only the best of intentions. But that does not make it any easier to put my faith in a man so infatuated with secrecy. I have had my suspicions ever since the Exarch bade you speak that day. But now I must ask. The 8th Umbral Calamity and all that followed. Everything you claim to have seen. Did you?
Help! Someone help!
What?
The Ilmorans have come for us! We're under attack!
Uh-oh. That's not good. Meanwhile, in Yulmore. It's 4-3. It's the Exarch.
Lord Vorthry, how good it is to see you. How long has it been? Not since your inauguration, unless I'm mistaken. Too long, at any rate. May I say how humbled I am to be invited not only into your city, but your home. You are as generous as ever.
And you as disingenuous. Let us dispense with the pleasantries.
This merry band of dissidents people are calling Warriors of Darkness. They have slain Sin-Eaters, and by all accounts the Crystarium is complicit in their villainy. And now I hear reports of your people obstructing my soldiers. So I must ask, what exactly do you think you are doing?
I might ask you the same thing. It should be clear, even to you, that defeating the Light Wardens represents the world's only hope of survival. Even now, the people of Lakeland and Ilmeg rejoice in the return of night. For 100 years, they yearned for a means to fight back against the Sin-Eaters, and at last they have found one. Yet you choose to stand idly by and do nothing. Why?
Why? Because this hope you cling to is nothing more than a fever dream, an exercise in futility. Even should you slay the Sin-Eaters, the world as we know it is beyond salvation. With what little land and resources remain, the people would be free only to starve. Before long, they would turn to violence, then to war, and ultimately usher themselves unto oblivion. They require a firm hand to shepherd them from the edge. The hand of a king. Nay, a god. I will see their dreams fulfilled, their wishes granted. I will give them peace, order, and they shall never want for bliss. Men are fickle creatures who entertain vague ideals without the faintest notion what they cost. But a little fear can go a long way towards helping them realize what it is they truly need. Sanctuary. And they shall find none in this world save that which I afford them. That is why the Sin-Eaters exist. To unite the world under my dominion.
A paradise fit to grace the 8th Umbral era.
What was that?
A minor epiphany, nothing more.
Huh.
You have always held sway over those around you. Those who defy you must submit or die. What sits before me is the inevitable result of bloated privilege and unchecked power.
Right.
But man is more resilient than you think. His achievements are not the product of violence and bloodshed, but compassion and understanding. This calamity is but another crisis to be overcome. And we will, once we eliminate the Sin Eaters.
You poor deluded fool. These people care not for the morrow. They care only for the now. And the contentment they lack. What good is a paradise to them if it is 1,000 years in the making? Or even 100?
You underestimate them, Lord Vorthry. They see further than you think. I have beheld it in the blood and sweat and tears of those who would sacrifice everything for a future they may never know. That their children may never know. I have beheld it in the hopes and dreams of those who came before, which we bequeath to those who come after, that they might in turn build upon the foundations laid by our forebears. These are the bonds which hold man and his world together, not your gilded chains, and I will resist your every effort to shackle him.
In summary, you will continue to support the villains hunting my Sin Eaters?
With tremendous enthusiasm, for I have faith in the future they would build.
Why do I even bother? Fools, the lot of you! So naive! So painfully predictable! Did you imagine I did not know your mind? That I would wait until after this meeting to dispatch my forces? Even as we speak, they march to the Sin Eaters' defense. Insurrection will not be tolerated! The people of this world are mine to rule, mine to command. And you are no exception! What?
He was never there to begin with.
Fine! I will not stand for this! Do you hear me?
He wasn't there to begin with. Whoops. Come on. Hi there, kitty cat.
You speak for the Knights Blessed?
I do. I presume that is your doing. If you have come to parley, I must insist that you first return him to us.
You're in no position to make demands.
You sure about that?
By Lord Vorthry's decree, Raktika now falls under the governance of Yulmore. You will henceforth answer to us.
Is that so? And the children of the Everlasting Dark have acquiesced to this madness?
We have reached an accord, yes. Too many times have the Knights Blessed shunned Yulmore's overtures of friendship. The risk that you harbor hostile intentions has grown too great to ignore. Therefore, his lordship has claimed dominion over this forest and bestowed executive authority upon the children of the Everlasting Dark.
In his wisdom, Lord Vorthry has agreed to recognize ours as the only permissible expression of dark worship. It's one true faith. You and your false creed are a blight on these woods. A foul, unholy corruption that must be cleansed. Little wonder the Warrior of Darkness visits both Lakeland and Ilmeg, yet shuns Raktika. Your perverted teachings hold blessed Shadow at bay.
You have accepted the yoke of Yulmore to spite us, then? Fools. Darkness will never return to these skies while they hold sway.
Those of you minded to obey his lordship are to make for Woven Oath with all haste. We will leave you, but you may have time to prepare.
Woven Oath? Are you suggesting we abandon our fate to join those zealots?
What has your faith afforded you thus far? Nothing! We will guide you along the righteous path.
And should we refuse?
Anyone found here upon our return will be considered a traitor to Yulmore, and dealt with as such.
We will discuss these developments after I have tended to our casualty.
Oh boy. But like also freaking Yestola, like literally all she had to do was drop freaking Flare, and that would have been it. Yulmore has gained a foothold here in these woods, bodes ill for the Knights Blessed. Surely there's something we can do to help the Knights Blessed, isn't there? The god has been inflicted with the most terrible and efficacious poison. We have attempted all manner of healing incantations. Alas, his condition remains unchanged. At present, we can but slow the poison's advance. Prayer it will afford us sufficient time to find a cure. Put to the proof. Ariane J wears a somber expression. And we'll have to deal with that somber expression, and probably this poison, in the next episode. So, I hope you've enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe. You can check the playlist for more episodes. Normally I stream over at twitch.tv/SereneInc. So feel free to come on out and check that out. Right now, I am not, simply because of the fact that I am moving throughout the month of May here. So, you know, that's it. That's it. I don't know. So, but yeah, I haven't been able to record it, is what I'm saying. So, yeah, for that, I'll see you all next time. There's a gemstone trader here that I have not unlocked. Apparently. Oxchalmol, Yixampamol, Yixloquamol, Oxcatoralmol. And the Great Pyramid of Oxner. The Camul Astropolis. See you later.